Hey, Harley, I think I figured out what's wrong with these social justice liberal types. They're jealous of us regular people, the things that we can do, the things that we're not afraid to do, and they react just like spoiled children. And what do spoiled children do when they can't get their way? They ruin everybody else's good time. What's the matter? Didn't mommy and daddy show you enough attention when you were a child? So now you have to run around and wreck everyone else's fun because you didn't get your way. How mature of a full-grown person to act. If you ask me, that's ridiculous. Anybody who ever took the time to grow up should realize that they don't have the right to project their bad day onto someone else. You didn't get your way politically? Maybe you should take into account that your candidate was probably the worst candidate for president to ever run. But you think it's okay to frame the other guy for things that your party did. How ridiculous. How childish. And then, if that's not enough, you help to institute policies that punish the people who voted for our current president or might appear to support him. That's beyond childish. That's what bullies do. The one thing supposedly the left is opposed to, yet does on a daily basis. So not only are you people childish, you're hypocrites as well. Always managing to say the right things and virtue signal as you completely turn on the things that you say and the way that you conduct yourselves personally and in the business world. I would submit that the people on the left and the Democrats, and especially the people who work in the social media industry, have no honor because they're willing to take out their frustrations and their failures on innocent people. Just like children that can't have their way. So they run around in a fit of rage, breaking other people's property, and generally causing a ruckus, thinking that their temper tantrum is going to make them feel better and or so they can get their way. At what point will they ever realize that it's the willingness to do the work and put in the time that's how it's done? That's the adult way of doing things, instead of running around ruining everybody else's fun because they can't have theirs. Well, I get it, and I even know what made them that way. They were picked on, they were used and abused at some time in their past, and they feel they have the right to do that to others as an adult. Well, here's something you people may not have thought of. Or maybe you have and you just don't care. Do you remember how horrible it was when whoever it it was that did to you what they did made you cry and had all those horrible feelings about yourself. That's what you're doing to other people, making you just like them. When you're totally capable of rising above it, yet you refuse to do so. Projecting your bad feelings onto someone else is a childish thing to do. The adult thing to do is realize that you don't have a right to do such a thing. And the honorable thing to do is to not even go there. But that's not how you people operate. And it's a crying damn shame because you act like freaking children. But so far, you haven't been willing to tap the brake and take a good hard look at how you treat innocent people and change your ways. Well, let me tell you a little story about my life, because I've experienced the same things that you have, maybe even worse. And I got in lots of fights when I was a kid because of it, because those experiences made me despise a bully. I would go out of my way to hunt them down on the playground and either whoop their ass or get my ass whooped. And along the way, I learned a valuable lesson. Sooner or later, you mess with the wrong one if you're going to act like that. Sooner or later, someone's going to call you on your bullshit. That's just the way it is. Because you don't bully someone on the playground and expect them to back down every time. That may have been what you did, but that's not what we're going to do in the end. Sooner or later, the people are going to say they've had enough. And they're going to be looking for you. And it ain't going to be just words. It ain't going to be, oh, we'll just shut down their speech. It ain't going to be none of that. Best case scenario, you'll only be held accountable for your actions to the fullest extent of the law. Worst case scenario is that there are going to be people so upset that they're going to take action in another way. And there aren't going to be a whole lot of people too concerned with stopping them because y'all dug your own hole by bullying people, by shutting down people's speech, by framing people and promoting the frame job. There aren't going to be too many people that have too much consideration or feelings about what happens on the other side when it all goes haywire. I could speak from personal experience because win, lose, or draw, we always got called to the office, the bully and me. And my parents hardly ever got called because I was fighting. They always said, well, we don't agree with what you did, but at least you were doing it for the right reason. And that's the way the American public is going to look at it when it finally happens, what you are pushing to happen. We don't want it to happen. The last thing we want is to have it come to a physical confrontation. But you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and sooner or later, as everybody on the right knows, you don't put up with that shit from a bully. If you do, you only get more. And so far, we've been polite about it. And all you have to do is back off and back away. Or it's going to go the other way. And like I said, the best case scenario is that you're only held accountable legally for what you've done, what you've been doing. Because if you push it to a collapse and the law is no longer the law, guess what? They're going to come looking for you. And I don't want that. Like I said in the last video, I want to help you. You should turn away now. Put down your censorship stick and expose the system that's trying to ruin the fun and good times for the rest of us before it's too late.